So, this is once again a battle that I played yesterday. That seems to be a theme. I play a battle, and then I go to bed, and then I'm like, hey, that battle was pretty good. Let's go record that. Anyway, this was actually the last battle we played in our session. In our tier 9 Russian heavy tanks, my platoon and I. This tank, I really liked this tank, actually, for some reason, way back when it was still called the IS-8. As you can see, there are 2 marks on it, and I didn't get those 2 marks when it was called the T10. I got them way back, like this was before I even had my first tier 10, because my first tier 10 was the IS-7. So, yeah, I am a fan of this tank. Obviously because, you know, I liked the IS-8, and now we have an IS-8 that's been buffed. Anyway. So, now that we're moving into position, there's an Object 260 there. Object 260s I always treat with a little bit of extra respect because they're typically played with good players. Alright, he missed us. So I can go M103. Oh, is he gonna give me a shot? Yep, I'm gonna take it. Hey! Alright. So my platoon mate there, Mr. Eric, just got smacked by a Death Star. Sorry for everything being in French. I joined the Quebec clan and I wanted to be able to communicate better. So I come around, find this position, gives me some good cover, and I start to lay into these guys. It's an M103 sniping me from, I would assume, that's somewhere around here. I don't even know. Anyway, this position is interesting because it's one of the positions where the T10, you can make the T10's armor, which is not great, feel like it's amazing, because you come up, let's see if I can demonstrate here. So right here, the enemy only really has shots at the front of my turret, and this extremely heavily angled part of my glacis, as well as this part probably. If they do have shots on my unangled side, they're very slim and there's a very low chance that they're actually going to hit that, which is why, as you can see, I'm poking out just as far as I need to, and then taking my shot and pulling back. Yeah. So, spatial reasoning, I guess. You can do some quick geometry calculations in your head. Then you can find... That's interesting, I want to see. Oh yeah, the E75 managed to snipe my lower glacis there. I did come out a little bit too far, which is why I decided to rethink my angle. You heard a shot hit my platoon mate back there. That was the M103. He's about to... Yep, there you go. He's finally figured out that he has to load armor piercing to damage heavy tanks. And, yeah, I'm not into just getting farmed by base camping M103, so I fall back. It's 1390. Looks like he's about to threaten our backs. It's about at this point that my platoon mates realized it, but I'm already on it. There you go. There's one dead light in. And since I'm not interested in getting farmed by the M103, I'm going to try to find a position where I can support these guys from over here. Repair kit just came off the line. Repair that. Repair my gun, definitely. And I find this nice little spot where I can get hull down. Get some shots, of course. Get some shots into the side of these tanks, and of course the first one bounces. Object 260 almost never can penetrate. Oh, that one can penetrate. Oh, now the Object 260 comes over. And he loaded high explosive. That's just, wow. Oh, one shot Death Star. What? There you go. That was a lucky shot. Let's see, I've got a shot into the side. Hey! And then the IS-7 gets ammo racked. Oh boy. Coming down. I can't get a shot into that guy. Reloads too long. Put a shot into the E-100. It goes slightly high into his spaced armor. And doesn't do anything. Just got absorbed by his tracks. So I'm going to continue to try to work this ridgeline against the 260 and the M103 over there. First shot, that was kind of... It looked like the shell wanted to go under his tank, but luckily it went into the underbelly. Mr. Ali is being threatened by the A100. That one doesn't bounce. Mr. Ali unfortunately failed to penetrate the shot. So he gets killed by the E100. I'm going to come over, because now it's Divine Machine that's in danger. Try to kill the E100, and it low rolls. Well, I needed a high roll anyway to save him. And... is he good? Yes! Alright. Now we just need to kill this M103. Get some low tracking damage. And now it's just the artillery left. If you have a look, like, that was a ridiculous number of enemy tanks that we had. Well, I guess we can watch the shot going in. Yeah. That was a ridiculous number of enemy tanks we had. And I was just able to find a position where I made the armor of my tank look a lot less useless than people tend to think. I think part of my success here was just that people don't think of the T10 as a heavily armored tank. So when I was using my armor effectively, they just didn't know how to respond to that. Which is one of the reasons I like the T10. Back when it was still called the IS-8, I would use it to troll E100s into shooting the front of my turret with heat, and it would bounce, and then I get 2 free shots into them because, you know, because way back then I managed to get 2 marks in this tank, and now I'm a significantly better player than I used to be. Have a look at my IS-7, my average damage is 2500, and that is, in my opinion, not good. Anyway, that's after a lot of grinding to make it go up a bit. So anyway, yeah, this was my battle. I did 6,862 damage. There were no blind shots. 570 tracking damage right at the end there. I blocked 1,630. That mostly has to do with me. Well, it's a pretty low number when you think about it in terms of tier 9 heavy tanks. But I was also trying not to get shot, so you know, I didn't actually take a screenshot of the post-game stats, so you'll have to take my word for it. There were no blind shots. I did only do 6,862 damage this match. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.